Greetings, people of intellect. This is my book review of Way to Wealth by Benjamin Franklin. This is, well, it's actually an essay full of age-old wisdom and adage by the great Benjamin Franklin. I think it was published in 1758, so it's like generations and centuries old, but it's so striking how timeless they are and how much it still resonates with our times and our behaviors nowadays. The first thing, the first concept that I took away was the concept that in the essay he portrays people kind of complaining about the taxes of the government that is being levied and how that's keeping them down and how that's weighing down on their shoulders and keeping them from achieving more. And he said, if that was the only tax that was levied upon us, then maybe there's something to complain about. But we are taxed twice as much as we're financially taxed by the government. We are taxed twice as much by our idleness, 3 times as much by our pride, and 4 times as much by our folly, which is our foolishness. And I thought that to be a very like well thought out response to that, because people, you can complain about so much that is out of your control, but by looking at what is in your control and working on that, like if you're not putting in 100% effort and energy into the things that you do control, and you're complaining about the things that are not in your control, then there's a huge area of life that you can improve upon by focusing on stuff that is under your control. So I thought that was to be a very, very well-defined advice to back then and now, especially now. The second concept that I took away is the concept of working hard today. The way he mentions, I love the articulation of this essay. It's just very, very beautiful in the way that Benjamin brings forth his concepts. He says, one of today is worth 2 of tomorrow, meaning that today is worth more than tomorrow, because today is in your control. Today is right in front of you. Do the things that you can do today, and the tomorrow is a concept. Tomorrow is a thought, but today is right before you. Today, you have your control in front of you and stuff like that. So the concept of focusing on the present and working on stuff again that's in your control is much more beneficial than waiting for tomorrow, and so that I think is also very well thought out advice. The third concept that I took away is one that he really ardently has a passion to try to convey to the audience, and that is that you should rather go to bed supperless than to go to bed in debt. He basically wages a war against a crusade, even against going into debt. And he says that you become a slave to your lender. It takes away much of your liberty. It takes away your courage to talk to other people. Sometimes you have to evade the people that you owe to, and that is that's not how you should live. That is, it takes away so much more than just financially. It takes away courage and liberty, and not to mention friendship and trust and all those other things that money can get in the way of. And he said, just live within your means. If you cannot afford it, just do not afford it. Do not go into debt. Try to do certain things, and I think that is definitely needed today. And Benjamin's wisdom is just so brilliant, and I think this is the first of reading his biography, which I will do in the future.